and let us all do we can to build a better future.
All right, moving on.
This is a big story right here.
Amazon warehouse workers in New York have filed a petition to hold a unionization vote.
Good.
So essentially, this is 6 months after what happened down in Alabama. Remember that?
Oh, yes, with the questionable voting results, as it did turn out that there was some rigging happening. That there was some little shady stuff happening as Amazon was able to have access to those ballots. I mean, Daniel, we talked about this. I know you did a story on it too.
It was the National Labor Relations Board that said in a preliminary finding that Amazon may have illegally interfered in the mail-in election. I mean, that was not just something that we're pulling out of our pursuits.
I think a judge also in the Alabama vote. Then they're doing a revote. Is the last thing I remember is happening.
And this is, by the way, a company that recently just got taken out to the woodshed because they were underpaying people who were on leave, because for some reason their HR department couldn't keep track of people's paid leave. Do you know how easy it is to keep track of paid leave? There are applications that will handle all of that for you, and apparently Amazon doesn't want to put anything into its HR to make sure that people are actually getting their paid leave. Yeah. In any case, so what's going on here is the workers in New York, they're looking for pay raises, more paid time off, longer breaks, the ability to cancel their shifts in hazardous weather conditions. Imagine that. In a place which has had horrific rains and other terrible weather disasters, people want to be able to cancel their shifts if it's too dangerous to come into work.
Makes sense.
That seems
people don't want to drown.
Yeah.
How dare they? How people not want to drown?
You don't want to drown while working? What kind of world do you want to live in? What is this madness?
Less mandatory overtime. Mandatory overtime. Well, there's a concept. And the right to their own employee advocacy. They must, so 30% of the workers at Amazon's facilities, so that's probably about 2,100 people, will have to submit authorization cards to the National Labor Relations Board to approve the unionization vote. I wish them luck. I really wish them luck. I wish them luck.
I think as a final, or at least an additional note to the story, to the Amazon workers in New York State that are filing this petition to unionize, learn from the situations that happen in other states, like again. All over where any state or any Amazon warehouse facility tried to unionize, because be prepared to see Amazon weigh in, be prepared to see Amazon try and interfere in any kind of union vote, and you're going to have to make sure that everyone that's participating is definitely, they're dedicated to see this thing through, because Amazon so far has been successful in trying to squash out any kind of union vote for any of their warehouse facilities. So it's always important to be aware of what's happening and to be ready for any kind of pushback and fight. So yeah.
Yeah, I very much. Well, okay, let's go. I'm actually a little positive on this. Okay, so we know the trajectory as it's been so far. The first vote with unionization through Amazon in the Northeast, I forget exactly. It might have been Delaware that it happened.
Connecticut or Delaware, one of those two.
Happened, and it did very poorly. It did 20 or 30% vote, and then we move over to Alabama, which is much less friendly to unions. People are generally, it's lower standard of living. It's Alabama, and that vote happened. There's shenanigans. The vote's going to be redone, but they still get, what was it, like 40% or something like that. I just remember it was higher than the previous vote. So now, as the ground has been set by those previous votes, we're now going back to the Northeast, where unions are more common. It's been years since that last vote happened. I would say if we just follow the trends that have been laid out in front of us, I think this one might have a chance of passing.
Well, I really hope it does. I really hope it does for everybody's sake. This is, workers need representation. Yes, Roger Meadows and I would love to see more true worker co-ops, and I'm not talking about consumer co-ops. I'm talking about worker co-ops where the workers own businesses. But I think unionization is quite possibly the next best thing, along with, of course, adequate funding for regulatory agencies who can monitor and take action against businesses that are not following the law. All of these things are kind of important, and I'm hoping, I really wish these folks some success.
Yeah.
I really do.